Hey, I changed the intro for you.
I see that, and R2's dome is upside down.
Yeah, like
Is it?
something else that's behind you.
It is upside down.
Is it upside down?
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
caught
just-
on to that.
What a coincidence, right?
So
He's got my
already-
game upside down behind him.
I just want to point out already, I'm getting a low Wi-Fi connection, and we just started the show.
Perfect.
Great.
Yep.
Appropriate.
That's the best way to start. So this is Full 42. We're a bunch of geeks just talking about board games and geeky stuff and things like that. But tonight we have Matt Goldrick here. And tell us a little something about yourself real quick so everybody knows what they're getting into.
Well, my name is Matt. I like long walks on the beach, and I'm just kidding. I could not like long walks on the beach at all. But so I'm the sales manager at Quartermater Logistics. I've been in the board game industry for about 5 years now, and doing just about everything you can think of, from design, development, art direction to manufacturing, and now logistics. So from beginning to end, I've done it at some point or another, and now I do business development and sales management at Quartermaster. So
Nice.
Very
Nice.
nice.
So all the
Was it
stuff
last
I tried to
Tuesday?
avoid doing.
All the good stuff. I think it was last Tuesday or 2 Tuesdays before. I sent you a picture of that Creatures and Cupcakes game, and I noticed your name was on it, and I adore
which
and I'm like, Matt, what the hell?
I forgot my name was even in that rule book, but that if that tells you anything. But
It's a fun game. It overstays a little bit, but it's a fun game.
Which game was it?
Creatures and Cupcakes. It's a push your luck. All these different colored cupcakes are in a bag, and you're pulling the cupcakes out. You can stop at any time. If you ever get two of the same color in a row, you bust. The objective, you have 4 creatures in the 4 corners. Your objective is to get 2 creatures to the cupcake castle. And each color has a different amount of tiles that you're walking. So the cupcakes you pull match the color. They don't match the color. The colors are off, but they match the color of the different sections. And depending on how many you have, that's how many spots you move.
Yeah, that's a Daryl Andrews game. It was called something else. I forget. Spartan Rush, I think, was what it was called originally. So
Yeah, Daryl and Adrian.
yeah, we made it child friendly.
Hey, Alan.
Alan's
Hey,
here from the
Alan.
beginning. Hey, Alan.
Nice. Been a little while since he met us at the beginning. So before we dive into shipping and stuff, by the way, this is we're going to be talking about behind the scenes shipping things and stuff like that as regards to the board game industry, right? But we're also going to play some games afterwards, so we're just going to relax and have fun. But before we do that, we like to torture our new guest by putting them through a lightning round that will expose your soul to the world using scientific analysis. Yeah, where are you going? Yeah, too late. You've already agreed. So basically, if you haven't seen this before, this is. Should I put us here or put us here? Which one's better? That one's better, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, that one's better. All right. So I'm going to reveal questions. Lightning round. You're just going to give me a basically down the path of yellow or down the path of red. At the bottom of it, you're going to be told which fictional character you're most like. It's all based on real science. There's no questioning it one way or the other. So here we go. First one is fantasy or sci-fi?
Fantasy.
All right. Lord of the Rings or Star Wars?
Oh gosh. I don't know that I care that much for either, but we'll go with Star Wars.
All right, back to the red. Have the power to turn into a penguin or a panda?
Panda, they're vicious, man.
Really?
Pandas are vicious?
No, I have no idea. They're just gigantic, so I'm assuming they can do some damage some way or another.
The most I've seen is them fall out of trees and just be okay. So
Yeah.
Yeah, would you want to be on the other side of that? I don't think so.
all right. Sean Connery or Daniel Craig?
Sean Connery.
Nice.
Sean Connery.
To the middle. Always wear a cowboy hat or a top hat.
I'll say cowboy hat, although honestly neither.
Oh, there's no middle ground here.
Oh,
Always be sticky or slimy.
sticky.
Really?
Usually people think more about that one, but okay.
Well, slimy, like try to pick something up if you're slimy. Good luck.
That's true.
Sure.
Film noir or horror.
Well, try to put
film
something
noir.
down if you're sticky, though.
But you can get it off. You just gotta really work it.
Which one did you say?
A film noir on this one.
Film noir. All right. Country music or disco music?
Oh, music.
Disco?
Country music shouldn't even be on there.
Agreed. That was a test, and you passed. Sound like Christopher Walken or Christopher Lloyd?
This is a tough one. I'm going to go with Christopher Walken.
Hey,
Yeah,
Derek.
that is a tough one.
We have Derek watching.
All right, we're almost down.
Hmm.
People are scared of you or people easily scare you?
People are scared of me, which I think in general some people are, but we'll go with that one.
All right. So scientifically, you are Remy from Ratatouille.
Well, I'm an excellent cook. I spent
There you
15
go.
years running restaurants, and so I am an excellent cook. So there is accuracy to this in some.
Look at that. Proven correct.
Science.
Yeah.
Although the size is a bit different, I think. But
Yeah, well,
That's funny.
I didn't say it was 100% correct. I just said it was correct.
sure.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks for enduring the lightning round. Yeah, that was probably the most lightning-y version of that lightning. Usually we've had people like they don't get the lightning round idea, right? It's let me sit here and contemplate if I want to sound like Christopher Walken or Christopher Lloyd. But you were right on it. That's nice. Yes, clearly that's the science.
Mm-hmm.
Totally science-based.
I even forgot to put up the lightning round banner. So
I
That's how
saved
how
it
fast it was.
too. I'm
It's
not doing
very
that.
official here on this
Mhm.
show.
Yeah, we don't
that
mess
was-
around.
I'm going to blame Mike on that one.
It's because I
Speaking banner?
told you at the beginning. It's because I put the first thing up, and then you were like, "Oh, Mike's going to do it," and then I didn't do it anymore.
It's true.
It's all right.
So shipping, just one or two sentences ought to clear everything up, right?
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
something
I can. Yeah.
I know. It's a mess.
Well, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
That's about what you can say with shipping.
Can you tell us? So you've probably been at QML long enough to have seen prior to COVID and then like gone right through it. So, like if you can explain to people watching who don't really understand shipping and how it works, like what have been some of the biggest changes that you saw through COVID?
So when I joined Quartermaster, it's about 2 years now. So right at the beginning of this, so in the middle of COVID, right at the beginning of COVID, right when things were really unsure of what was happening, everybody was locked in, everybody was locked down. But, I've been involved with this stuff since before then. So part of what I did with publishers before was working in shipping and logistics and things like that. So there's a lot of things involved with it, and there's lots of different factors that influence this. The pandemic is a big part, both in a positive way and a negative way, because the pandemic really influenced buying behaviors in a different way, which is a big part of this that people don't don't always think about. And it influenced people's capability to do things. So here's a good example is that, Quartermaster, our admin staff is completely remote. Everybody who does anything admin, it works remotely. We're based in Florida, but we're done completely remotely. But except the warehouse staff, right? The warehouse staff can't be remote. They're in the warehouse, right? So there's a big part of this. Like when the pandemic hit, everybody who could go home did go home, except for the people who couldn't go home, right? The people who had to stay. And it was the same thing for us. So we had to do all those things. So now that people are stuck at home, they have to change the way they live their life, and they have to change the way that they spend their money. So everybody started buying differently, and they started buying different things, right? So, there's lots that we won't talk about economics because that's not what this really is. But as far as what board game shipping is concerned, not only did people have more money to spend on luxury things like all the things that we have behind us, right? But people have more reason to buy those things. So people needed something to do at home. People who never played board games bought board games. People who only bought a couple of board games bought lots of board games. So all those buying behaviors changed. But then begins the ripple and the cycle of the whole thing. Well, because people couldn't be at the places that they needed to be to start these things moving, nobody had anything to ship after a while. So nobody had any product to move, right? So because nobody had any product to move, everybody needed to move product. But nobody could move as much product because there weren't as many people in ports. There weren't as many people in factories. There just weren't people in the steps of the supply chain. And people moved in and out of the supply chain, employment-wise. And then that started happening. And then so there was a big point where we ship for fulfillments and we ship for daily web store fulfillment and things like that. Like daily web store fulfillment that first year was way up. It's the highest it's ever been. But then Kickstarter fulfillments were way down because nobody could move their Kickstarters around. So what happens is and I won't go through each ripple and step of the process, but what happens is all those things start to flow down the supply chain. And the supply chain is really long. So once that happens, you don't really see the effects of what I initially described until 6 months, 8 months, 10 months, 12 months, 1 year, 2 years later. So like last year when people were talking about container charges and things like that, that didn't happen last year. That happened 2 years ago. But you were just seeing the effect last year. Because of how long it takes to move through the supply chain to those fronts. So when we were paying $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 for a container, that was when things were really bad. But the cost didn't actually escalate until people needed it the most. So you have a massive increase in demand and a massive decrease in availability. And so then that weird thing, you don't see that impact until now, right? So that everything takes forever to move through the supply chain. And so, there's certain things that roll downhill, right? And this is one of those things. So now that demand on this end, on the front end for shipping, for when you buy from Amazon or when you buy from your favorite board game publisher, the demand for that is very high. So the demand to move products on every level has vacillated wildly as the availability has moved. So it's not a mess so much as it is the inevitable movement of the burden of the supply chain, right? So what you're seeing right now is the highest demand for shipping that you've ever seen, right? Inflation is up, the demand is up, people's buying behaviors are different now than they were a year ago or 2 years ago. But more and more people learned that they could buy things and have them shipped, and so continued to do that. Businesses discovered a lot of successful models doing those kind of things, so they want to continue to do them. But inevitably, the burden of price and profit has to fall on someone. And, you can say what you want to say, but FedEx does what they need to do to make money, and we do what we need to make money, and publishers do what they need to do to make money. They're all businesses to do it. And that's kind of what you're seeing right now. So shipping is what it is. I told you at the beginning I could describe it in one sentence, and that's kind of what it is, which is that it is what it is. There's not a tremendously advantageous marketplace for shipping unless you are a shipping provider. Everybody else is working in the world that's provided by those shipping providers, whether that's DHL or UPS or USPS or FedEx or whoever the case may be. So,
I saw early on, whenever all this started, people started saying that the pricing for board games was going to go up because of the supply chain issues and stuff like that. And I saw a lot of basically people in the industry going, yeah, it is what it is kind of thing. And a lot of people going, well, games are a luxury product. And there just wasn't a lot of pushback against it. But I don't think that people thought about the prices going up for shipping. And for whatever reason, it seems like people are more upset whenever the price for, like, if I run a Kickstarter and I make the game, if the shipping's like $10 more and I add it to the game, they all go like, yeah, we understand. But if you add it to shipping, they get all upset. And I like, what is it psychologically that makes that a problem, in your opinion?
Well, I don't know if it's a problem. It's just a change, right? The prices of board games should have gone up 5 years ago. The average board game price of $50 to $60 has been in place for 10 years or more. The prices should have gone up 5 years ago and they didn't. Prices should have gone up 3 years ago and they didn't. And prices need to go up now, and they're just barely starting. Because what we're not thinking about is, and as an average consumer, we're not thinking about what people call the landed cost of a game. You can take a pack of cards and you can say, how much does this pack of cards cost you to make, right? Well, a pack of cards, there's 55 cards on a poker size sheet that costs you about 47 to 55 cents, depending on your card stock. So there's a cost of the game. Well, that's just one of many costs that go along with the game. There's, you put the game in a box costs you $1, right? Put a rule book in there and that costs you $1. And then, all right, well, we have to move the product from the factory to the port, right? Or from the factory to the port to the shipping warehouses, right? And then it has to move from the shipping warehouse to the distribution warehouse and all those things. So that's the landed cost. So by the time, and everybody has to make money every step of the way, right? So the manufacturer has to make money, and the publisher has to make money, and the shipping companies have to make money, and all those kind of things. So what happened was 5 or 6 years ago, everything on Kickstarter had free shipping. Everything did. And you couldn't buy a game on Kickstarter, and maybe $5 if you ever had to pay for shipping. But everything 7 years ago was free shipping. And the reason why it was free shipping was shipping wasn't actually free. Spoiler alert for everybody involved. It wasn't actually free, but publishers subsidized all or a large portion of the shipping cost. And they did that because there will be an argument about this. Bad business or good business decisions are not to do that. But we created an expectation and a model for our hobby marketplace that says this is what this is, right? So we created this psychology that shipping isn't your responsibility. And there's not even to talk about the elephant in the room, which is Amazon, right? Amazon has created the environment that shipping is not your responsibility as a consumer. Mm-hmm. And in reality, I think it is. I'm a shipping guy, right? So of course I think so, but there is, if you need something, if you need food, you go to the grocery store and you buy the food until shipped and shop or Instashop, Instacart or whatever. Now all of a sudden it's not your responsibility to do that anymore. Somebody can do it for you, right? So there are things in the middle that people jump in to make money off of, and shipping and fulfillment is one of those kind of things, but somebody has to pay for that in what step of the process. And in the case here, because we're not increasing the inbound money for these things, the costs are increasing. So eventually they meet in the middle, and you can't do one or the other. So you either can't make the game or you can't move the game. Mm-hmm. And you have to decide which one do you want to do. And inevitably you're going to choose make the game over move the game, because somebody will pay to move the game. And that's kind of where it's happening right now, because we're not increasing the top line income for the end result for these things. So the psychology is shipping is not your responsibility as a consumer. Mm-hmm. So would you rather have a $50 game with free shipping or a $40 game with $10 shipping cost? The fact of the matter is people would rather have a $50 game with free shipping. I even think 25th Century Games, their Green Team Wins, they have a question in their little board. They have a board game packet of cards. That's which would you rather do? Would you rather have a $25 game with $10 shipping or a $40 game with free shipping? And everybody chooses $40 game with free shipping every time because that's just what everybody wants. Because nobody wants to be that part of it. They want to be the part of getting it. They don't want to be a part of the supply chain to bring it to them. So that's part of that psychology and that psychosis.
I think also because if you pay for, like, if you get a game shipped to you for free, but you're paying more for the game, people have that item that they're looking at where the value is associated with the item versus shipping. You don't see it happening. I mean, it comes to your door.
Right.
So it feels like, well, it's just money that I've wasted on, I don't know, because I don't see it. It doesn't give me anything per se, but it's the convenience of, it comes right to your door. And
Sure.
people don't understand, like you explained, like the getting it to the port, having it freighted to the US, having it from the port in the US to the warehouse, like it travels so far. And I think people underappreciate the miles that go into, having the
Sure.
game brought to your house.
Sure, and I think you're exactly right that there is nothing to show for your shipping other than the thing that you think you've already paid for, right? So you pay to have it shipped to you, and now you can't resell your shipping, right? Like, oh well, I need to recoup this shipping cost somewhere or another. It's a value perception, So it's like when you go to a restaurant and you have a nice dinner, and you get waited on by somebody, you tip the server. Because you got service, because you tip them. Yeah, in America. So, but that's a great example because in other countries you don't tip, but because the cost of service is built into the server's wage and it's built into the price of the meal and so on and so forth. So there is an interesting perception there for that too. In America, you tip the server and you don't think anything of that. You certainly don't have anything that you can take home or show for that, other than the fact that you had somebody take care of you and bring you the meal. And it's not that shipping is exactly the same, but there's an interesting perception on that too, because the only difference in tipping is you get to control what that cost is, right? You can control how much you pay for those kind of things. So,
unless you're in parties of 8 or more.
Sure, unless you're in parties of 8 or more, or in another country. But
yeah, very true.
So what? Trying to avoid certain waters, but what?
I see what you did there.
What is going on recently that you feel is just generally not understood correctly in the board game industry?
Well, a lot of publishers have gone out of their way to discuss shipping, and I think it's largely misunderstood how much shipping actually is, how much it actually costs to ship something. I can break it down because I've done it from. My manufacturing prices are probably a little off from a few years ago, but I can take a game off your shelf and I can break your price down from the pieces to the parts to the time spent. And I'll say largely in our industry that everybody's underpaid in this industry, right? Because the time is not valued correctly and the efforts are not valued correctly. And it's the same thing here with shipping, is that I don't think people really understand what shipping actually costs, right? Like what your publishers pay to move a single copy of a game from one place to another. And not only that, all the other costs that are involved in it too. When the cost of containers, a 40-foot container was $35,000, what that does to the individual price of a game. There are some really big games out there that can't fit more than 1,500 games in a container. You think about, we can look on our shelves behind us and see some really big boxes, and you can't fit a lot of copies. Mike knows this. Mike is very much involved with these kind of conversations, and the amount of games that you can get on a container. If you're paying $35,000 for a container and you can only fit 1,500 copies of a game in there, board games take up a lot of space. That's the other thing I don't think people really take into account when they talk about logistics for board games, if you have a book, right? Let's see if I don't have any books readily available to grab here. But if you have a book, 1,000 copies of a book is much less space than 1,000 copies of a board game. Yeah, 1,000 copies of Chicken Hair there is much less space and much less weight, even though books are pretty dense, right? It's much less space and much less weight than 1,000 copies of a board game. Like, how many copies of thanks for the blade, right? The space needed to hold all this stuff is expensive. The cost of warehousing right now, we're actually in the process of exploring bigger spaces and things like that. So, yes, and the cost of warehousing by the square foot is higher than it's ever been. So like everywhere you want to put something, it takes up a lot of space. So it's a fascinating balance that publishers have to walk, where ordering the right number of things, moving the right number of things, storing the right numbers of things for a product that has an average active life cycle of no less than 6 months. And I think 6 months is probably pushing it. But yeah, so it's expensive. So you can't order an extra 1,000 copies of a game and expect to make your money back on those extra 1,000 copies of a game, and you probably won't. So do you want to pay to store 1,000 copies? That's a lot. It costs a lot of money to store 1,000 copies of a game, especially if it's a big one. So the costs involved are so much higher and more exponential. It's the fundamental problem of something like Kickstarter is you have a dollar amount attached to something, right? You see a Kickstarter that raises $500,000, you assume the dollars and cents of this thing because some of the dollars and cents are communicated to you, right? Like, well, you made $500,000 on a Kickstarter with crowdfunding, and now I have to pay for shipping on top of that. What are you going to do with the $500,000? Well, the $500,000 doesn't cover that much. I mean, it really doesn't. Like, people have to get paid. I know it's shocking to a lot of us, but people's time is valuable. So the designers who work really hard making these games, and the developers who work really hard making the designer's game an actual game, the people like Chris who do all the graphic design and artwork for these kind of things, that time is valuable. The people who do the rule books, that time is valuable. The people who market and share this stuff, is very valuable. Everything is very valuable, so everything has a cost associated with it. What seems like a lot of money, and you can do your own napkin math when you see these numbers. You can be like, well, there's plenty of money sitting around. And in reality, there really isn't. The average margin of these things is fairly small. So
you also have the percentage that a company like Kickstarter takes or BackerKit takes from the campaigns. Sure. Looks like a dollar amount, but on the back end, you're losing that. You're losing your percentage to the designers. You're losing percentage to the marketing it took to raise that $500,000 in the different markets. There's a whole bunch of stuff down the list.
Sure. Kickstarter takes 10%, right? Mm-hmm. You put that Kickstarter on BackerKit, they also take the same percentage. Yeah. So right off the bat, there's money you don't have. I mean, it's just, you don't even get it. I don't think it's worth it. I don't think the money that you spend on Kickstarter, that you get to Kickstarter for the amount of work that Kickstarter does, I don't think it's worth it. But they get it nonetheless. And it's the same thing with BackerKit. And every one of these things, these marketing companies that charge you to put ads up and charge you for pledges, they also get a percentage of the pledges, right? Mm-hmm. So all those ads that you see on Facebook and all those things, I won't mention company names that have it, but it's pretty common. So you market these things and they get, like, hey, we get 20% of each pledge that we bring you, or 30%, or whatever their going rate is, right? Which it generally comes out ahead, but like there's a percentage of every single step that goes to somebody. Right. There's designer percentages depending on, everything that's involved. Everybody gets percentages of these things. And yeah, believe it or not, the companies need to make some money. They need to make some profit, because if they didn't make profit doing it, they wouldn't do it in the first place. So there's a lot of that stuff that's not thought about.
I have a question here. How can we as consumers help change the culture attitude towards shipping costs? It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a question that I'm not sure has an answer, because culture is largely influenced by a vocal minority, in that if you have 5,000 people, we'll just keep talking about Kickstarters, right? If you have 5,000 people on a Kickstarter, the people who complain the most are the smallest number of people. Anybody who's answered a single Kickstarter, Kati, you've run Kickstarters, right? Everybody's done it. We've all seen it. It's the same 5 people, right? It's the same 10 people who all complain, and then they end up not backing your campaign when it's all said and done, right? They're just here to complain, right? Right. So, I mean, it's hard because you have to change the mind of the people who speak out, because I know how many Kickstarters Mike backs. It's a lot. In case you're not aware, it's a lot. I see his name come across the ledger quite a bit, but.
Really, do you? I don't see any one of those little inserts signed by you yet.
I'm going to Florida next week. I will sign one for you next week.
Okay. Yeah, every time I get a package from QML, I send him a message in hopes that the little insert is signed by him. It was something that I had with Robert, who used to work there, and I was always waiting for one to be signed. So I carried it on with Matt.
Yeah, and the hardest thing to do, like, everybody can, like, positive messages have much less weight and velocity than negative ones do. And, like, I mean, just think about it. Like, what's the best way to get somebody to click on your video? I mean, there's a reason why it's called clickbait, right? Because it's bait, right? And people's comments and conversations about negative things and are just, frankly, more interesting to read and participate in. Whether you actually have any, like, I've backed so many Kickstarters that I've backed a Kickstarter and I've never looked at the page again until I get something telling me to fill out my pledge manager, and then I fill out my pledge manager and I never look at it again. So if there's something happening in the Kickstarter comments, I don't know. And that's generally the case, right? Like, there are, God bless them, there are defenders of every Kickstarter and participation thing out there, and they're great, but they don't change the minds of these things. And that's the hard part, is eventually things will move on. People will forget the thing that they feel wronged about. There will always be a small majority of people who do it, but I mean, just look at the news cycle nowadays. Every bad thing that happens is forgotten about a week later because there's something else happening. So it's the shipping. Like, when shipping was free 5 or 6 years ago with your Kickstarter, everybody was mad at the first person who made their shipping more expensive, or actually charged for shipping. And then everybody forgot about it, and now they're mad that shipping is $20 instead of $10. And then they'll forget about shipping being $20, and they'll be mad that shipping is $40 instead of $30, because every year rates go up. Every year. It doesn't matter whether it's a pandemic or a shipping crisis or whatever buzzwords you want to put to it. The rates go up every single year, right? The cost of fuel increases every single year, which is a big part of shipping costs. So as both of those prices go up, the rates of shipping go up and up and up, and it's always going to be increasing. And the thing about it is people hate change more than they hate anything else, and the change is ever present in this kind of thing. And as a lot of publishers are afraid to change things because they're afraid of losing a captive audience or a target audience. So the best thing to do is to soldier on and do what's best for you as a company or as a publisher, or soldier on and do what's best for both parties as much as possible, but not to sacrifice one for the other. And that's the key, right? Is not to rob Peter to pay Paul in the situation.
I mean, honestly, probably what would be best for the industry is if all creators, we decided to basically charge what is correct shipping and kind of all agree to do that. But the problem with that is that you're not always going to have that. And then it's scary to consider doing that, considering what we've seen in some recent Kickstarters, the blowback whenever people saw those real numbers or stuff like that. So it almost makes everybody else kind of want, like, well, maybe we shouldn't show real numbers. And it continues that issue of consumers not really seeing what the real cost is, right?
Well,
Sure.
I mean,
Go
go ahead. I was going to say, like, for a project like mine, for example, I can't. Well, I mean, I can. I don't charge full shipping, because then in a lot of situations, my shipping is higher than the actual product they're backing. That scares people away.
Yeah.
And you hear it, and And for that reason, it's like I've always covered part of the shipping, but even like my rates increased this year, and I know it affected how many backers I got. But at some point, it's like I can only continue to cover so much because, like you said, gas is going up. The containers had gone up and everything else, and it's like you can only stretch yourself like so thin, and eventually it makes it no longer worth running the project. So.
Yeah, it's we had a conversation, Katia, about fulfillment before, and products like yours are not kind to shipping, right?
No.
And it's so what, in reference to what you said too, Chris, about communicating proper shipping costs, is that what we think should be expensive is expensive, and what we think shouldn't be expensive is probably more expensive. There are wildly different things that change what shipping costs are. There are things that will push your shipping costs in one direction or the other without even really thinking about it. You take something, standard size of a game is probably 12 by 12 by 3 or 12 by 12 by 4, probably 4-ish pounds, 3 to 4-ish pounds. That's the average. That's not a great size for shipping, to be honest with you. And honestly, small stuff's not either. So, even something like a calendar is terrible to ship because it just is very wide and very long, but it's not very thick. So there aren't a lot of boxes that fit that, right? So there's so many different things to think about. Here's a good example is like a miniature-based product versus a card-based product. Something that has a lot of cards in it. Cards are very dense. If you've ever tried to fly with a deck of cards in a bag, it's going to get stopped almost every time it goes through a scanner because cards are very dense and they can't see through it. But they're very heavy. So you put 500 cards in a box and it's very heavy. You put 10 miniatures in a box and it's very light. But miniatures need twice the space that the cards do. So all of that space around those miniatures you take, I've got Kingdom Death Monster up there, and that is a big giant box full of miniatures. It's not very heavy, and those are on sprue. It's a totally different thing, but most miniatures are constructed and you need lots and lots of space, but that space has no weight in it. So you have a huge box and the space is valuable, right? Not just to you, but to the shipping companies. So you encounter something called dimensional weight, which is something that nobody thinks about. But you could have a 4-pound box or a 12-pound box, and I've seen this, a 12-pound box that ships at the rate of a 30-pound package, because that's the size that space is worth, right? So they say, what's the volume of the box? Not the weight. It's whichever one is greater. The dimensional weight is 30 pounds and the actual weight is 12 pounds. Well, it ships at a 30-pound rate because that's the value of the space. So we call it shipping air, right? You are shipping air a lot of the times. So something like a playmat ships air a lot of the time because it's really long. Even if you roll it up, it's really long in one dimension. Even though it's small in two other ones, it's really long. So that still has a high dimensional weight, right? So there's all kinds of things that factor into that. So you get your Kickstarter that has 10 different things in it. You got the miniature add-on pack and the dice and the coins and the metal cubes and all those things. And all of a sudden it's 40 pounds worth of dimensional weight to ship that product that probably has to go in 2 boxes. The shipping cost on that is $75 probably, like the actual shipping cost. And people are not paying $75 for a product that they paid $100 for because they don't see the value in it. But in reality, that's the cost, right? So it's a value prop more than anything else. And it's a hard sell. I get it. It's what I do for a living, is selling the value of it. But it's even harder for the publishers to sell the value of what that stuff actually is. And you see it a lot with publishers nowadays, is a lot of publishers are moving towards smaller size product, not including all the extras, not including all the bits and bobs and doodads and whatevers, because it's not worth it for them to add that. T-shirts, perfect example. You see T-shirts on Kickstarters a lot and you don't see them anymore because it's not worth it to ship a T-shirt. It's just not. So,
well, you also don't sell enough T-shirts to make the logistics
Yeah,
work.
the profit margin on shirt is very small. For
yes,
those
and
that aren't familiar with shirt printing.
Yeah. And like you said, you just don't sell that many of them. You have 1,000 backers and you sell 17 T-shirts, right?
Yep.
Like, okay, well, what am I going to do now? Well, what you actually should do is refund those 17 T-shirts. Is what you should do.
Instead, I have several boxes of T-shirts in my storage place of my
This is
first game.
what
ever. Yeah.
This is where you put a sale link for T-shirts down at the bottom
Yeah.
of the scroll.
Well, now the shipping's too high. I'll lose money.
Yeah, they got to come pick them up.
Yeah.
Well, if they were trouble shirts, I'd be there to pick them up. If
They're not. They're evil intent shirts, unfortunately. So not even my more successful game. Yeah, and I think part of the problem too is that consumers don't understand the change that's happened in Kickstarter since the beginning. So I started in 2012, where my first campaign was funded at $36,000, and that was considered a success.
Yeah,
and
huge.
I made 1,000 copies of a game, got it out there, and I broke even, and I was like, amazing. It was great.
Mhm.
And you can't do that today. And
Nope.
half of the reason, though, is because when you back a game, you're not just backing a game anymore. You're also backing that publisher's company to be able to pay the graphic artists and developers and all that stuff. So back in the day, whenever I was selling a game at normal MSRP price, I was getting a nice chunk of profit that I was able to cut off of that shipping, like basically. But now they need that chunk of profit to keep their business going. And so I think that's one of the reasons why now we're kind of having to see more prices go up and stuff, because, I mean, they don't say it up front, but pretty much every single game you see on Kickstarter is to keep the doors open for most of these companies.
Sure, and I think what you say has a lot of weight too, right? Because I mean, you wear a lot of hats, Chris. You're a designer, you're a graphic artist, you do all of those things, right? And I would say at $36,000, you probably undervalued your time significantly, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I didn't pay myself. Let's
right, yeah, exactly.
Let's not say break even meant that I paid myself anything. Yeah,
sure, exactly, and that's kind of the point, is that it's a real business proposition for publishers nowadays. I mean, there are more larger companies interested in the board game market because of its increase. And what's happening now is I'll say almost violent, but a violent catch up from things that probably should have changed several years ago for the valuation of time, the allowance of businesses to be successful with these things. So there's lots of investment in this industry. There's lots of people moving into, you see it with the increase of licensed product that's available in the market, the companies that are existing in this marketplace that never used to. And that's because they're seeing the business probabilities that exist here. Like Hasbro's been in the toy space for a long time, but they're also starting to move into the hobby toy space, right? So they're moving into the hobby board game space. They have their own crowdfunding page, right? There's all kinds of things that you're seeing out there, and big, huge companies that have a required profit percentage for their shareholders. And in order for everybody to exist on the same sales floor, everybody has to move to accommodate that. So there was a huge undervaluing of time and value several years ago. I mean, 2012 was a long time ago, but even 5 or 6 years ago, we were drastically undervaluing our time, right? And now people are trying to catch up so that they not only can keep up with inflation, but to just continue to make some kind of money, period. So,
do you think we're going to end up falling into a catch-22 where if we start, let's say you started charging what shipping was, right? Your $45 game has what shipping actually costs for that $45 game. Or option B is you raise the cost and include the shipping in the cost. So back to your point of a $50 game with free shipping or a $45 game with $5 shipping, you're gonna get, and maybe it's to your point earlier about the 5 or 10 people that are consistently bitching about stuff, but you're gonna get the complaint no matter what you do, right?
Sure. Yeah, you can't please everybody. I don't care what you do. You're the 5 people the vocal minority, they're always going to be there, no matter what model you choose. Whether if you do $50 no shipping and everybody's happy, that small minority of people is still going to complain that it should have been $40 with no shipping, or it should have been $30 with no shipping, or I remember when Kickstarter was just for startups and not for big companies, or whatever the comment of the day particularly is, right? Um, and that's kind of the way that it works. Like, everybody has to make out, right? Everybody has to pull out what they put into it. So the publishers have to get their thing, and the consumers, right? It's a really fine line to walk, where as a publisher you have to create something that is a good value prop for the consumers, and as the consumers you have to put your money into what you consider to be a good value prop, and that's the balance, right? Like, I don't think you can say that you can charge what shipping actually is, because we're not even charging what the cost of the game really is, right? It's just the target. It's just the big visible thing. You see the companies that say, like, hey, shipping for this is $150, right? And that's probably what it really is, right? There's the big companies that are out there that are putting these things out there, but like, it's several hundred pounds of stuff that needs to be moved. It's probably way more than $150 to move some of this stuff. So it's one thing. I mean, it's hard, right? Because you're the one cutting the check. Like, I don't. And as Katya said, you're not getting anything for it. Because you feel like you have already paid for the game. And when you go to the store and you pay for the game, you're getting the same game. Like, I'll wait till retail. Like, well, the company still had to pay to move it there, right? You're just getting different stuff and getting it at a different time. So everything has a value associated with it. And we can have lots of discussions. And we do frequently. We do a lot of instructional chats and stuff with people about these kind of things. And the information still doesn't get everywhere that it needs to go. And that it's never going to change. But we'll do our best to keep pushing it out there and putting it in front of people. So that's why we're always happy to do these kind of conversations.
Mm-hmm. Now, even
I will say,
sorry, what you said earlier about, a container costing $35,000 for a big game that you can only fit 1,500 copies in. Like, that's $23. I did the math. That's $23 per game that just got tacked on to the cost of production and everything else, and the rest of the shipping fees. So, like, for the people that, complain that it's like, well, this game now is costing $80 to ship to me, or, whatever it is. And it's like, well, yeah, maybe you didn't realize that there's a $23 here that a lot of people chose to absorb. And at some point, it's just not feasible anymore. Right. Like, with the cost going up that much, like, it is what it is.
That's an extreme example, of course, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can fit a lot more games in a container, obviously, than that. But it's a good point, because that's generally what landed cost means, right? Even if it's 5,000 copies of a game in a container, it's still $7 a game. That is just the ocean freight portion of that. That doesn't include the cost to move it to the port. It doesn't include the cost to move it from the port to the fulfillment warehouse, or the cost from the fulfillment warehouse to the distribution center, or anything else. That's just one portion of the travel that has to happen there.
So I just lost where I was going with that. I will say what I was about to say earlier, though. Just doesn't really have much to do with shipping, other than the fact that they were mentioned. You did say something about like the 5 negative people on Kickstarter and make more impact and stuff. I will say, as a creator, those positive people, I have pointed those people out to other creators just behind the scenes and called them angels, because sometimes those positive people do make an impact, as far as, like, if you get enough of them, they'll quiet down the negative people without you having to touch it. So I just wanted to give a shout out for those positive people.
Oh yeah, I don't want to
great backers. Oh, I love those.
I don't want to sell doom and gloom here, right? But I mean, I've had campaigns that I've worked on that I was at Essen 2 or 3 years ago. I guess there wasn't one 2 years ago. 3 years ago, whatever the one right before the pandemic was. But and I ran it. If you've ever been to Essen, there's an insane amount of people there, and this is pre-mask time, and I was walking down one of the many crowded aisles, and this random guy stopped me and started saying something to me in German, and I, of course, don't speak German in any way, shape, or form. And he corrected himself and started speaking in English. He was a backer from a campaign that I'd worked on, and he started talking about the campaign, and like he recognized me. I don't my picture's not on there. I don't know how he recognized me, but he recognized me and talked about like how he was sorry for the backers who were saying bad things on the campaign. And I was like, well, thank you very much. It's like, and it's a nice thing to say. There's lots of positive people out there.
It means a lot, yeah.
And overall, this is a positive industry. It's just that the vocal minority who make it less fun for those of us involved in the behind the scenes stuff. So
to go back to what Steven said, like how can we help change? That's exactly what you can do, is be the angel that Chris is talking about. Like hop into those negative conversations on your Facebook forums or the Kickstarter comments or the updates where people are like, blah, $5 shipping, how dare you? And just be like, dude, like just this is what it costs. Like be that person. And then more people might feel like don't on your wagon and talk about it.
Don't fight them for us. Don't be aggressive or anything. But
no,
yeah.
No fighting.
Yeah, I remember what I was going to ask. So what? And it almost kind of ties to it. So what is the part of the problem? I think is that we don't have a call to action for consumers, right? Like, oh, there's this problem. Shipping's this high. And all we're saying is like, yeah, suck it up because we're having to suck it up. Like, is there anything anybody can do about it realistically?
Well, I think it's not a problem, right? Like, there's not a shipping crisis, right? There's not a shipping problem, right? There's a shipping cost, right? And that's part of the issue is that it's something we don't like, right? Like even I work in shipping and we charge shipping rates to people. I don't like that our shipping rates are high, right? It's not, I didn't do it for fun. We're not sitting around the office like, nah, right? Nobody's doing that. Nobody likes it, right? And it's not a shipping problem or shipping crisis because go all the way back to the beginning and say, describe shipping in one sentence. And it is what it is, right? There's a certain cost associated with these things. And I think that's part of what it is that there is a lot of, I don't want to say clickbait because it's not clickbait. It's just people don't like it. And because they don't like it, it's a more interesting conversation to talk about something that they don't like than something that they do, right? So there's a big part of that sensationalizing of those prices to be something that needs to be changed and fixed. And the reality of it is it's not going to be changed and it's not going to be fixed. It's not going to go down. Prices never go down. They never, ever, ever go down, right? If they go up and they go back down, they never go back down to where they started, right? So prices never go down in the long run. Prices only ever go up for everything. Like, yeah, containers went up to $35,000 and they're now, well, right this very moment, if you're watching this live, that's the only commitment I'm willing to make here is that they're around $15,000, right? But that's probably as low as they're going to get, right? Like they might go down a little bit more, but they're never going to go down to the $7,000 that we were paying for them before. They're never going to do it. I mean, people who tell you they can get them for that are wrong, or they're misskewing information, right? A container to the West Coast is a much different price than a container to the East Coast. It's a wildly different price. So, I mean, the fact of the matter is it's not a problem. It's just the way it is, right? Like prices go up. And the question is how much do they go up? And is it going up appropriately for what's happening out there? And I think they are. I think the prices for things are going up appropriately for the marketplace of the world, not for the board game industry in general. I think we're doing a lot of catch up in the industry to catch up to the overall global economy and the overall global marketplace. So, and I think that's what it is I think it's having a more realistic viewpoint on what's actually happening. Does it suck? Yeah, it sucks, right? Like nobody wants to pay that price. Nobody wants to pay. Nobody wants to buy a game for $100 that they could get for $50 a few years ago. Nobody wants to, but ultimately that's going to be what it is. I mean, like, I'm probably the oldest person here, maybe. I don't know. How old are you, Mike? I might be older than you. I'm not sure. I think I'm older. Yeah, but I can remember when I was a kid how much I used to pay for a tank of gas in my car, and it was a lot less than what it is right now, right? But you don't see me yelling at clouds about it, right? Because that's kind of the way it goes, right? Do I wish it was lower? Absolutely. Will it get a little lower? Sure. Is it going to go down to where it was last year at this time? No, it's not, right? That's just kind of the way it goes. And it's kind of a fatalistic way to look at it, I'm sure, but we have to understand that there's a lot of up and downs in that the shouting and the fighting isn't going to fix it, right? But we need to constantly seek out information and fight for accuracy of information in these situations before we really talk about it, because the fact of the matter is that I could complain about gas not being 99 cents a gallon, right? Which is what I used to put in my car that would burn 20 gallons of gas in the course of a week, right? But I'm never going to get $20 a gallon or $20 a tank again. I'm never going to get it. So I understand where it is. And it's by doing real information, I understand why it's that way, right? And what can be done to understand that and apply it. So same thing happened. No, he doesn't remember that. Andrew's not that. Andrew's the same age.
Andrew looks good for his age. He's that old.
Right?
Also depends on where he is. Like I know in Texas,
yes,
we're getting cheaper gas than most people. So
this is true. This is true.
all right, well, nice doom and gloom at the end. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's reality though, right? Like, Matt's not wrong. It might go down, but it's not going to go down to where. I remember getting a container for just over $5,000. It's never going to be that. And is that because they know they can get more for it and people are charging more for it? Or is it just like 15,000 is where we ended up 18, 20 months later? Like maybe, but it's not going to go back to where it was. Like it's just, and then what does that affect down the road, right? Everything else is going up. Containers went up, shipping to port, shipping to warehouse, shipping to distributors. Like everything is just deal with it. Like it is. So adjust, or you're not going to be around to play
in the grand scheme of the supply chain. The publishers that you're mad at are very far down the supply chain. They're almost at the end, and they don't have a lot of control over it, if any. Right? There are small things that they can do, but I mean, if you want to be mad at somebody, be mad at the freight companies, and not even the freight companies, the people that own the ships. Be mad at them. They're the ones who are making like gangbusters over those freight containers. Your publisher is not making any money off of that. That is a guarantee. They are not making any money off of that stuff.
So you're saying
you talked about it earlier that you're not sitting there just making money off what you're charging people, and the publishers aren't either. Like it doesn't make anybody happy to have to be like, look, you're shipping this game. Here's a game, Grand Gamers Guild. It's a small box game. It's going to cost you $50 to ship it. They're not making any money off the 50. It's not $50 to ship it. I'm kidding, but they're not making any money off that shipping cost, and they're doing it to stay in business. They're doing it to bring you stuff that you want to pay for or play. They're not making money off that shipping cost. It's just part of the cost of everything.
And I've talked to publishers who've looked at what it might cost to buy a ship, right? And maybe if it's cheaper, to buy a ship and charter your own steam voyage across the Atlantic Ocean, right?
I know. I thought about looking like how many of those things can I fit on a boat, and how big does that boat have to be, and can I be a captain?
Yeah, I mean,
people totally dressed like Star Trek. Yes.
Yeah, people were buying containers. People were like, oh, I bought my own container, or I bought this container. And I'm like, that's not really what it is. It's just the issue at the time, right? And, there are things you can do if the supply chain is this long and you're all the way at the end of the supply chain, there's very little you can do to influence and manipulate what you actually deal with money-wise. And like fulfillment companies, we're not that far up. We're like here, right? We're not that far up the supply chain either. There's so many links that everything that moves down the supply chain as you move along, there is a markup of some kind every step of the way. And there's only so much you can do within that small margin of markup that you move. So there's very little that can be done with every step of the way. And I think the biggest thing that a lot of companies are doing is they're moving to direct to consumer sales. They're moving to direct to retail sales. They're moving direct, like they're moving. The easiest way to deal with supply chain difficulties is to remove links from the supply chain so that they can make a bigger portion of that profit without passing the cost onto you. And there's lots of things that companies like QML are exploring too, right? To see what they can do to assist and move. And it's why I have a job, right? It's because that's what I do. It's part of what I explore. It's part of what I look into. It's why people like us are in this industry, because we see what we can do to not make money off people. I mean, that's ultimately what happens, but you do it so that you can fill a niche of something that didn't exist before. And if that means a niche of removing 2 links out of the supply chain and making a new channel, then that's what that new thing is, that maybe allows you to only charge $5 more for your game as opposed to 25% more than what it was before, whatever the case may be. So,
right. Yeah. True. I remember I was looking into, it was a while ago, I was looking into 2 containers at once, and it was whatever. And I got into the conversation of like it was a joke, but like, oh, they don't give you like a discount for getting 2 at once. And the person I was talking to at the time said that there was a company that had 20 and got charged full price for each one of those containers. And what I was given at the time was $29,000 for the container. So they were getting 20 containers and not even getting a break on the 20. Like that's, I'm not going to say who it was, but that's where it is. Like there was a demand and people were paying, that you had to pay it. There's nothing you can do about it. Or it's somewhere and you're not going to get it. Like,
yeah, there's a perception of scale here. So the people understand what we're talking about when we say a container. A container is a 40-foot long container that you would see like on an 18-wheeler on a truck, right? Honestly, most containers that you see are probably 20-foot containers. So they're twice as big as that. So that's a lot. It seems like a lot. Like we could all be in a container right now and have plenty of room to move around, right? There's all of our stuff in all 4 of our rooms could be loaded into a container and there'd still be lots of room left over. They're big. So you wanted 1 container and 2 containers, and this person wanted 20. Well, maybe not Mike. Mike's got a lot of stuff in there, but 20 containers is not that much. It really isn't. It's small. Like in the grand scheme of freight movement in ocean freight, 20 containers is not anything. Right? Yeah. And the end of Iron Man 3, it's just a lot of containers, man. Like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of containers. Big box retailers, the buying power of big box retailers like a Target or a Home Depot or something like that, the amount of containers that they move. An interesting thing that happened in shipping or in freight movement, my brother works at the Savannah port, so he sees a lot of this stuff come through, is Target and some of the big box retailers moved so much product during high demand times that they're overstocked on a lot of large products, things like lawn furniture and television, like large television sets and things like that. I would not be surprised to see like a weird price break at Christmas time this year on those kind of things, because they're overstocked on those things. They take up a lot of space, and they're the only ones who could afford to move large items like that during the time of high demand. So, I mean, your patio sets or whatever, you can only fit so many of those in a container, but they're the only ones who could afford to move it, and they anticipated demand incorrectly. So, I mean, that's part of it too. So, I mean, but Target also moves thousands and thousands and thousands of containers on a weekly basis, right? So you needing 2 containers ain't nothing, right? Whoever needed 20 containers ain't nothing, right? There's a lot of stuff moving up there.
Yeah.
That's funny that he thought of Iron Man 3 when you started talking about those things, because I thought of Lethal Weapon 2, so I don't know what that says.
I know exactly each scene that you're talking about from Lethal Weapon 2 and Iron Man 3.
Yeah. Well, you don't like Iron Man 3, do you, Chris?
I like all Marvel movies, but it's just near the bottom. Like if you listed, which ones and stuff. But yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, why don't we move
Play
on
some
to
games.
having some games and stuff.
Yeah, Matt, thanks for your insight. Thanks for talking about that. That was awesome.
Sure. Anytime.
So we're going to play this game Zozimos, right? Is that the
Yes.
first one we're
Yeah,
doing? Or are we
yeah.
doing the other? Okay, great. So we're going to play Zozimos. I'm going to hit start on here. We're using Tabletopia, so make sure everybody hits start on there and we can jump in there. And this is a game that I created many years ago. And I am terrible at selling things, so no one else can play it because it hasn't been made or anything yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, that'd be great. But that doesn't mean that we can't play it on Tabletopia here. It's taken forever to pop up. So I'll just tell you what it is. It's a 2 to 4 player game. Goes about 20 minutes. And probably a little bit longer with teaching Tabletopia. It's still not coming up here, is it? Has everybody hit start?
I don't
I
see
see
anything
that.
to hit start with.
Not ready.
Build.
Hit reload your screen. It might pop up.
Okay.
Let's see.
Start now. There we go.
Here we go.
So let me
Got a
pull
new
it
button
up.
available.
Should we go this way to the left
Yeah.
or
All
down
right.
here? Oh, we should definitely be to the left, right?
Sure.
Cool. All right. So we're all going to be different colors here. What color am I? I'm blue. All right. So I'm blue, so I'm going to turn over here. So this is my side here with blue. The real game, or at least the end game, will come with those nice gems everybody knows here. But they don't have gems for us people that don't want to pay for those kind of accounts. So I just use cubes. And what is going to happen here is we have 24 or 30 cards here. And I'm going to just remove random cards, yellow, blue, red, one of each color, basically. There's 5 different colors. There's more blues and reds. Jeez, where's the other colors? Oh, my God. Okay, there's a green, and there should be a white here. There we go. Okay. And then one extra yellow. So now that gives us, put all that back in there. That gives us 24 cards. We're going to, you guys are horrible at that.
I don't know.
That's
This is
why
pretty
I
fun.
didn't do anything.
I
Messing
don't know
it
if this
up.
is what you're supposed to do, but this is fun.
Okay, hold on. All right. Now, nobody flipped those. Where's the shuffle? There it is. All right. So anyway, you can see on the backs of these that there are different color potions in here. And if you flip them, they'll either say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And if it's a 5 or 6, there'll be 2 potions. And if it's a 1 through 4, it'll be 1 potion. And what's going to happen? I guess I should have shown what these look like before.
Yep, you do it every time, but
Every time. And you let me do it, didn't you?
mhm.
All right, well, fine. I'll show it anyway. And we'll have to set up again.
Well, just reshuffle
No,
it.
too late. Too late, dude. So you can see here that the potions 1 through 3, there's only 1 potion. 5s and 6s have 2 potions on them. The 1 here, I'll get to that in a minute, what that means. So on your turn, you're going to draw a card and look at it secretly. You're going to be the only one that knows what number it is and how many potions are in there. Then you're going to put it face down, and you're going to start a bid. And you're going to bid any number that you want, but what you're bidding is the color of gems here. So let's say I pull this red card, and I'm the only one that knows it's a 5, right? And I put it face down, and I say, okay, I bid 3. And then it goes to the person on my left, whoever yellow is. Is that Katya? And then it goes around the table. You can keep bidding up, or you can pass. Let's say everybody passed. That means I get this card for a 3. I reveal what it is. If I have bid under it, then I actually get the difference. So I get 2 cubes here. If I bid, let's say I bid 7 for this, that means I bid over it, so I have to pay 2 cubes. And then at the end of the game, my score for red is how many cubes I have times how many potions I have. So I would get 4 points for red.
Got it.
And at the end of the game, you're going to count up all your points for the different colors, and that's how many points you have. Most points wins. We're going to keep playing until all 24 cards are taken. There is, if you get suckered into getting the 1, you can keep the card if you want, or you can get rid of the card to grab any gem color that you want. Because it's very possible that someone's going to make you bid, 7 for the yellow here, and you end up losing all of these, which in the end, 0 times 1 potion is 0 points. So these ones right here will allow you to get another gem to bring your points back, kind of thing. Any questions?
Yes. How do I rotate around the table so I can have my yellow at the bottom?
I think it's hold down the middle. Are you on a laptop?
No, but I do have a wheel now, or like a mouse.
Okay, yeah. If you hold that down, that's wrong. If you hold down the right click button, you can rotate.
Yes.
Matt, you know how to flip a card before you take it out of your hand?
How to take it into my hand, you mean?
So when you take it into your hand, it should be visible to you, right? Like you'll be able to see it's a 2 or a 3. When you go to take it out of your hand, before you take it out of your hand, hit F to flip it.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
Otherwise, you'll take it out of your hand and reveal it to everybody.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure DeVito did that the first time we played this game. Like immediately, his first card was like face up. Like, nope, flip it first.
That sounds about right for DeVito.
For DeVito, yeah.
All right, so we're all set up, and 2 reds have been taken out. That's just a random pool, which means we all start with an extra red. This game is all about kind of bluffing and trying to get the cards you want, or trying to psych people out into paying too much for cards they don't want. So
turns into just psyching Chris out every chance you get.
Yeah.
I choose chaos.
A good one for it, I'll tell you.
Let's see. Mike, you are green with the weird name Clark as usual. So let's say, since blue's on top, let's say I go first just so he can see the bidding go around before he gets to him.
Sure.
All right. So because you can see my screen, I'm going to need you guys to close your eyes so you don't know what I'm looking at, or at least look away
I'm not
from the
looking
screen.
at your screen.
Oh,
All
right. Yeah, I can minimize this.
I trust you. I trust you. So don't look at the screen. I'm going to look at this card real quick so everybody can see what it is. All right. All right. So it's down. You can look at the screen now. All right. So you know I'm bidding on a blue one, and I will bid a 2.
And it's going to go Chris, Katya, me,
Yeah.
Matt. Okay.
So now it's up to Katya.
I'll go 3.
Okay, Mike.
I'm not doing it. I'll pass.
Pass.
Again.
So it's
Just
to
for
me.
one.
I'll go 4.
You can have it.
All right. So
It's the 6.
it's a 4, which
Oh,
means I
wow.
don't have to pay anything. I get it for free.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You
So
did it.
My go?
Here you go.
Hold on.
Flip it first. Yep.
Did I lose it?
no, it's in front of you,
Take it.
face down. Nobody saw.
Oh, okay. But if I flip it, will you see it?
Yes.
Like, how do I put it? Oh, okay, there you go. I have it in my hand. Okay. Huh. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go 1.
1. Okay.
All right. I'll go 3.
Ooh, jump.
Go 4.
I'll pass.
Hesitation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go 5.
Nope, I'm out.
I'll go 6.
I'm gonna pass.
Oh
Ooh.
shit! It's the one.
What you do to him?
No, that's
It's not too bad.
horrible because we start with 5 red cubes.
Yeah, that's not too bad. So, because he went 6 and he gets a 3, he has to pay 3.
Come on. Oh my gosh. Grab the right
Which
thing.
1 potion and 2 cubes is still 2 points. So, better than what I got. Andrew, I'm guessing, Andrew, you didn't like Thor, the new Thor.
Uh-oh.
I enjoyed it, but you gotta know Taika Waititi.
It seems very polarizing from what I saw.
It is.
I didn't
It
watch
is
the movie.
not like most Marvel movies. Let's put it that way.
Well, it's wildly divergent from
Yeah.
the comic book. So
Oh,
if
sure.
you're a purist, then you would not like it, I think. But if you like good, entertaining movies, then you probably will like it.
Agreed. So you're bidding on a white one, Mike?
I am, and I'm gonna come out of the gate with a 4.
Ooh,
I am going to pass.
I'll go 5. You're gonna fall for his tricks?
I don't want to.
Well, knowing Mike, it's a trick.
It's a trap.
I'm gonna pass.
It's a
I'm gonna
trap.
pass.
I'll go 6.
Oh, I'll go 7.
Worth it? No, I'll pass.
That's not good. All right, what you giving me here? Let's see. Well, I still got a point.
You did.
Could have been worse. Could have been much worse.
I don't think you would. If I went 8, I don't think you would have went more.
No, I wasn't going to go over 8. Not with you doing it.
No,
All
I'm
right.
surprised you even bid up. I figured you'd come out thinking I was bullshitting.
Yeah, I'm tricking you here. I'm everywhere.
Why is this not going into my ear? It goes. All
Yeah,
right.
Tabletop has been a little weird to me today. I was trying to build something earlier and it wouldn't let me refresh stuff.
Okay, let's see what we have here. I think 4 is a good start.
And you're bidding on a red one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you already have a red one too. I'll go 5.
I'll go 6.
And y'all know that 2 reds were pulled out of this deck, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
I'm out. I'm out.
Pass.
Pass.
Uh-oh.
So Katia gets it for 6.
Yeah,
What
what
you
is
got?
it?
She got a good deal.
Oh, okay.
That's
There you
really
go.
sad.
What you get? Oh, 4? Yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Yeah.
I'll pay 2.
But you couldn't pay so much that you'd lose your red gems there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a hard position to be in. All right, so my turn. Make sure not to look at the screen because it's going to pop up.
All right. Good call.
All right. And everybody gets to see. All right, it's face down. You can look. I'm going to bid a 5.
You would.
I'm after you?
Yep. I like that Mike's across the table.
I'll go 6.
Yeah, turn order is basically the left side of the screen, right? Just
Yeah.
down.
That's true.
You came out with a 5 on a green. You raised it to 6. You both suck. I'm passing. I'm not dancing this one.
7.
Really? Pass.
Yeah.
Oh,
pass.
no, that was quick.
I win.
You
Yes.
won it. It's not too bad. You get a point. There's a point there. At least I talked Mike out of it. Mike has no points, and this is what I like.
Oh, did you
That's what I like
explain that if you did you explain that if you run out of cubes of that color, you have to pick from another color?
Right. Yeah. If you go over, you have to pull from some other color your choice. All right, Katya. Looks like you're grabbing the white one.
Yeah, I am. I am.
Man, another red right after this.
Oof.
Why isn't it showing my? Oh my goodness! Every time. I lost the card.
Yeah, it's on your gems.
I went to
You
put
did
it in
that
my
last-
hand, and it wasn't showing. Like, are you able to grab it?
No.
Oh my
It's
god!
stuck.
Every time. Tabletopia hates me so much.
That's your gems.
Yeah, I'm trying to move them out of the way. Maybe. Like I'm looking at your screen.
Huh.
Is
Well,
it
that's
laying
weird.
flat now? No, it's still stuck.
No.
What the hell? Give me my card.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna.
If you double
I'm gonna
click it,
leave
that's weird.
Huh?
If you double click it, it brings it up on the screen, like the backside of it, so it's registering that it's there.
I'm not seeing anything on my screen. It's like the card is not even there.
Huh.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pick a red one, and we'll just leave that one there for
No,
now.
no. Don't do that. We'll
Use
leave
this
that.
one.
Yeah, use that white one there.
Use the white one that was pulled out, and if this one ever comes back, we'll just.
Okay,
Get rid of that one. Yep.
sounds like a plan. All
That doesn't
right.
happen in the real game.
No.
There's no magic floating cards in the real version of this. What a
No.
ripoff!
Yeah.
That's
no.
the expansion.
Oh, it's in my hand now. I think I got it. Hold on. What is that? Oh no, it's a cube. I got so excited. Never mind.
Did you ever see?
I'm gonna
Did
go
you ever
with-
see the other card? Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But it's saying that I could put these cubes in my hand, which I really don't care to do. So I'm gonna go with 3 on this one.
So
What was that?
I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay.
I'll go for
3 and white.
I am gonna pass.
I'll also pass.
Really? Uh-oh.
It's telling. Really? What? Why?
Why? I made it so enticing.
So it's back to you.
So it's back to me. Everybody
Yeah,
passed?
I bid 4. They passed. It's see you on a 4.
Yeah.
How enticing is it?
Oh, you bid 4.
I did.
I'll let you have it.
The hell? The white cube went underneath.
Oh, what is it?
Where are you sitting, Michael?
I'm over here. I
It's
got it.
green.
Great. What
It's
did I
in
bid
the-
for?
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's not so bad. That's some
No.
points. Can't complain with that, right?
I mean, I can, but it's.
There you go. And then we'll just keep an eye on your magical mystery card here.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing the thing.
That
it's
is so
doing.
Well, I said Tabletopia was acting weird earlier. I was trying to load up
Yeah,
another
but
game,
that's-
and it was
That's so typical for me, from my experience with Tabletopia.
all right. So this is a red. This is the last red in the deck, isn't it? I believe so. No. There's one more after this.
There's one more. Yeah, there's 2 out. I'm gonna start with a 2.
4.
6.
No. No. That could be a 1.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
No.
So you're out?
I'm out.
So Chris on a 6. I'll go 7.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a 5.
Or a trap.
Or a
Yeah, that's the
Nah,
real
he wouldn't
thought.
have gone 7 if it was a trap. He's conservative.
I don't care. 8.
Ooh. Oh, all right, I'm out.
Hmm.
Of course, the problem is even if it's a 6, you're going to
I'm still
lose
out,
your 2
too.
reds.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, if you're okay with that, I'll go 9.
Pass.
So it's mine.
So it was the
Yeah.
6.
It was a 6.
Yeah, it was a 6.
Yeah, it had to be the 6. Yeah. I think Matt and I both smelled that 6 real early.
Yeah.
Start at a 2.
I usually start at 2, and you hate every time I do it.
I know.
Mhm.
Because it's a weak sauce beginning.
You're a weak soft beginning.
All right, man. It's like Christmas in here: green, white, and red. I guess I have a blue.
All right. All right.
So we're looking at a green. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do 4.
I'll go 6.
I'll go 7.
Nope. Enjoy it.
Pass.
Pass.
No, I'm sorry. Hold on.
We need to see it again.
No. I need to do some math. 8.
Oh, I pass. I'm passing.
Well, you had already passed, no? 8, so that means it's a 6. He's willing to give 2 cubes, so if it's a 6 and I bid 9, I lose 3.
Puts us at the same score. Or no, puts you at a better score, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah. You'll get some points.
but what if it's a 5?
Oh, please be. I just want it to be the 1.
It's still
No.
points if it's a 5.
What if it's like a 1?
No.
It's not the 1.
Then it's really crippling. All right, I'll go 9.
Matt wouldn't do that.
Pass.
I hope it's the 1.
Oh my god.
That's great. Oh,
I hate you.
Oh wow.
the 1.
I'm so
Oh.
sorry.
Wow.
No, you're not.
Oh, that's devastating.
This is what happens when you play a bluffing game with the sales guy.
That was good.
So I need to get rid of like
4 cubes. Yeah, you can spread them out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's whatever. Whew. That was harsh.
one
But
more.
you get to get 1 back
Yep.
if you want to get rid of that green card.
Yeah, because it's a 1, you can either keep the 1 card or you can trade it in for any gem of any color. So you can recoup a little.
Yeah, you can
So
always
then
trade it
I
in for a
could
red
get-
and get an extra point.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Is I would. So if I have to pay 8 first and then I get 1 back?
Yep.
Like, does it?
Yep.
So what am
Yep.
I at? 7. There's a lot of white out there already.
It's true.
There's no yellow. All right, I'm gonna do that and then I'll take a red back.
Throw these away. Oof, that was harsh.
That was.
I feel like
Good
I'm gonna
job.
end up with the same score as last time. I did not do well last time I played this.
All right, my turn. Keep your eyes off the screen, please.
Your score is still better than mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
She has 4 points and I have 3.
Oh,
All
but
right.
that green card, I don't get to keep it, right? Where
No,
do I
it's
go?
No, not if you throw it off. Yeah.
Where do I put
Here,
it?
I'll grab it. Just throw it over here. There we go. All right. I'm going to bid. Oh, 8.
What the fuck?
And it's green?
It's green. Yeah.
And no.
Well, you don't have a horse in the race because you have no green anyway, right?
Yeah, and I
She
can
can
pay
always
other
play with other
stuff.
colors.
Oh, yeah, I guess you could. But, I mean, he's bluffing
Yeah.
the shit out of this one. There's no way.
Yeah, I don't know what's this game here.
You get a
I mean,
6 for
even if
2.
it's a 6, he's losing 2.
Yeah, but that's 4 points. But it's a good starting bid. I don't think you sucker anybody. It's got to be the 6. Just depends on what you want to pay for it.
Says the salesman.
I'm not bidding on it at all. So
8? You're going to get it for 2. You suck. I'm out.
Almost as if I sent it directly to you, Mike.
You
I'm
said
not-
he's
I'm
out.
not.
What's yours?
You're passing?
Everybody
Matt?
passed.
yeah, I already said I'm not bidding on that.
All right. I'll take the points.
Oh, and it's a 5.
Yeah, it's 2 points. That's all right.
Still 2 points. I didn't have.
Get a 9, and then you 4. It was a 4. Yeah, I'd have to pay 4, and it would be 0.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a nice trap.
Yeah.
So either way, I make out. All right, Katya, let's see what kind of card hell you can give us this time.
Is it already back to me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that card is still hovering.
I know. It's weird.
So weird.
Oh, it worked this time. Great.
I'm going to go
Yellow.
with
This is
a
our
2.
first yellow. Sorry,
I'm
what'd you say?
going with a 2.
I'll go 4.
I will say 5.
I think I would have gone 5. I won't go 6. I'm going to pass.
I'll go 6.
Oh, that sounded so defeating and trap worthy. I'm not going 7. Is it worth 7?
Yes.
It's 4, you're down 3. No, I'm out.
Okay, still pass.
Everybody passes?
It's yours for 6.
Oof.
Nice.
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 Oh, I'll back that 5 yellow up. With a 1 out of the gate.
Talk about weak sauce. Oh,
Do 2.
I'll do 4.
You went a little higher than I wanted to. I'm going to pass.
I'll go 5.
Pass.
You weren't supposed to pass, Katya. I don't like him having 5 here. Could be the 6.
Could
I
be.
doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah.
That. I think it is.
No, I think it's probably the 3. I'll pass.
So everybody passed?
Yep.
Suck.
Oh, nice.
We're all
This game's
we're
going
up
better
to
for
you,
me.
right? We're up to what you got going out there, man.
Yeah, I guess a little bit, right? But now I'm going to pay my 4 yellow as soon as this lets me grab it.
You gonna get rid of it?
dump that card for a red.
Don't take it out of my pool.
I was
I
gonna say,
saw
you're
your
gonna take
hand
your
there.
red?
Just take it out of here.
I'm afraid to touch your stuff. It hovers. It's weird.
It's all magical.
Yeah.
It's really. I don't understand it.
Powers.
We'll do it. Oh, sorry. Put the card out there. You don't get to know what color it is. We're gonna do 2.
Going 2. I'll go 3. I don't know if you can see it, Katia, but you have another white underneath that card.
Yeah, I have 2. I can see them.
Okay.
I'll go 4.
Mike disappeared on us.
Sorry, thing fell over.
Ah.
Where are we? 4?
4 in the white.
No, I'm keeping my 2 points. I'm good.
5.
Pass.
Yeah, I'll pass. You can have it. It's probably a 6, but enjoy.
Oh, got it for free. Nice. Well done there. All right, so now we're going to be doing a blue.
8
Everybody
points.
look away from the screen, please. Or
He just
my
got
screen
8
at least.
points, people.
Yeah, well, you're being chicken, so there's that.
Yep. All right, so we're bidding on blue. You can look again.
You laid it down, flipped up.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, so you saw it?
No, it's laying on the table.
No, but
You can
it's
see-
face down.
No, it's face
Not
down.
to me, it's not.
Oh, so you can see what it is?
Yeah. Tabletopia being weird again, but I can see what it is.
All right, well, what we'll do then is we'll trade it out for. Well, I guess everybody should know what it is.
Yeah,
then
everybody
if
should know what it
people-
is.
Okay, so it was a 5.
Oh, okay.
So
Weird. I
I'll
don't
take
know
this
why I
other
could
one
see it
here.
and nobody else couldn't.
Yeah, that was weird. I'll take this other one here. Everybody look away from the screen, please.
That was odd.
I'm almost afraid to put it down.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
see.
Is it face down?
It's not even on the table for me.
No.
I know. So I can see it. It's floating off the side of the table.
What the hell is going on?
You can see it?
Yeah, it's like 2 inches off the side of the table, floating in air.
And you can see what it is.
Yeah.
And what is it?
Well, I mean, it's a 6.
Come on, Tabletopia.
Damn.
Well, that really kind of messes everything up here.
Yeah, it was on the table for me, face down, both times.
Same.
Yeah, well, if he's going to see every single one, let's see
What
what
is that?
happens. Let me grab
Matt,
this
turn
white
off
one.
God mode. Stop cheating. Jeez.
I
Let me
get to
see
be
if
so
you can
good
see
at
this
game.
one. Can you see it now?
Can I see it now? No.
It's
Well,
face
actually, hold
down.
on. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll bid with that. Unequal turns, I guess. All right. I have to remember what it was.
Wait, Matt, you can see it or you can't see it?
It's face down on the table right now.
Okay.
Okay.
I wonder if it's just blue cards.
Yeah. No blues, I guess. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to bid. Well, only thing I can really. I bid 6.
I mean, you could have bid 1. You didn't have to bid 6.
No, that's all I can bid.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I passed.
Mike?
I've said this earlier in the game. I hate you.
No, but you said you wanted points. It's your chance.
Is it, though?
You could do some math here with this, right? It's either a 1, a 3, or a 6. He's either overpaying for a 1 or a 3, and if you overpay, you lose. And if it's a 6, it's a free. He only gets 2 extra points out of that.
2 points. Yeah, it's not like your 8 points you just got.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's the risk. I don't think it's worth the risk. I'm good.
Pass.
We all pass. What is it?
Woo!
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Katya, yellow.
Wait, so
Yes.
Matt, this card, you can see this card?
No, he flipped it when he put it back over there.
Oh.
So, like, this is face up to me. Is it face up to everybody else?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, so it was face up the whole time.
How
That's
weird.
so weird. Okay. I'm taking a yellow.
Yep. Oh,
I will go
Thank you.
with... Eh? What'd you say?
I was thinking.
Oh. I'll go with 3.
How many more cards are there? 9? Pass.
You
Yeah,
don't have
you-
any yellows?
He doesn't have any yellows. Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because you way overbid on the 1. What was the bid? 3?
Yeah.
We'll do 4.
I'll pass. Katya?
I'll go... Yeah, I know. In a minute.
Playing her bluff. Hold on.
I'll go 5.
Ooh.
We'll do 6.
I'll go 7.
Oof. Really?
Pass.
Must be that 6.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's,
Nice.
So it's even, but then I don't give him points, so...
Yeah. Actually gain points that way because there's
No, I
2
don't.
potions.
No, I was
Oh, you
already
don't?
at...
But you have 4 points less. Oh, yeah. So you got 4 now. Well, try to pull a yellow, I guess. That'd be great.
try to get a 1 turned into
Yeah.
a yellow.
What awesome bid are you going to give us, Mike?
Just make it real high, like 10. Just throw it up there.
Wow,
No, I'll let you guys decide it's fate. I'll start. I'll go right in the middle with a 3.
I think this gel pack is leaking.
I don't think it's a 5. I think it's a 2 or a 1. So pass.
You said
Yeah, no, it's
3?
either the 5, 2, or 1, right? So
Yeah.
I think he's trying to catch people with that 3. So I'm going to pass.
It's in his benefit to have it be the 5. So he may be playing it a little bit. Because that's... You would get to... If it was the 5... So we would have 5 times 4. He'd be 20 points? Would be a big swing.
Oh, man. You said 3?
It's at 3 because they both wussed out.
What the hell? I'll go 4.
I'll go 5.
No, you can have it.
It's a 5.
It's not the 5.
Yeah. He went too fast. I knew it.
Yeah. I could have waited.
Oh, you just took all your points away. Ooh.
Yep.
Thank you for noticing.
Oh.
Got to learn to play those reactions, man.
I think I'm the only one that knows what bioneural gel packs come from, probably. Unless you're a Star Trek fan, Matt.
No, not in any
There
way.
you go.
I mean, I know what it is, but Star Trek. I mean, I just don't really care. Let's see here.
Actually, to give the right amount of points, I should skip my turn because I'm the one that messed up the blue, right? So
We'll
that
just
way
do
everybody
one.
gets equal.
Yeah, we'll do a two.
Two?
Sorry. Yeah.
For what color are you doing?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting to put the card back up there.
Oh, a blue. Oh, we've seen those.
Mm.
Hmm.
You said 2?
Mm-hmm.
You said 2. I will go. Yeah, I'll go 3.
I'll go 4.
I am not bidding.
I will pass.
So I got it for. What was it? Oh, no. Katya,
no,
you have
no.
4. You're
Yeah.
at 4? Pass. I know you're paying something.
Okay.
Well, there's your 1.
So I pay 3 blue.
Yep.
I'll go get a yellow.
Yeah, that's a pretty good call, actually. That's not
Yeah.
not a bad thing for you.
That's what I expected to happen. So
Oh, nice.
I don't know where to put this other than off the table.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
over
like
there.
there we go. All right. All right. Well, I'm going to skip my draw since I actually messed it up with the blue and go to Katya. So, Katya, why don't you start?
Well, your draw doesn't matter though, right? We still get points. Everyone's bidding and passing. You're
Yeah, but you're the one that starts it, so
okay.
I want to give as equal turns as possible.
He did make the game, so he's probably played it a few times.
Although I lost the last 2 games like horribly.
Oh, I didn't say you were good at it.
Yeah, that's good. I got my own cards right here. I'll just choose what I want from here.
Right.
I'll go 2.
What are we on? A white?
White?
Yeah.
You know I have the 2, right?
Huh?
Huh?
What?
What's your bid, Mike?
I don't know. I think we've seen the 1. No, we haven't seen the 1, have we? 5 and 6 are out. So it's a 3, 2.
Yeah, it's either a 3 or 1.
That would wipe me out. No, I'm out.
What's a bid 2?
Mm-hmm.
Pass.
Pass.
All right.
Damn it.
So
Oh, man.
can I trade the
enough.
card for a cube?
You can. That's another 4 points for her. Man. And then you bid, what, 3?
3.
2.
So no, I
So
bid
8.
2. So
Oh, you bid 2, so just pay the 1 way, yeah.
Yeah.
If it's even grabbable for you? Okay.
Yep.
Man, good call. All
look
right,
at me coming back from behind with that atrocious turn.
Mike, pretty strong. Another green.
Another green.
Only the 3rd green. Or 4th green. We had a 1 come out.
Yeah.
That's true.
Let's go 4.
5.
Not interested. Pass.
Same. Pass.
Why, Chris? Why are you not interested?
Because it's you, and I smell your traps.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm being honest.
Oh, okay. Well, then go ahead and bid higher. Sure, it's up to you.
What is it at? 5?
Yep. So much for that.
I'll go 6.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, you go 6. Pass.
It's me, yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay.
Well done.
Well done.
Thank you.
Come on.
Yellow. That's only the third yellow, huh?
4th yellow.
Did we have the one already?
Yeah, because there's 2 over there on the side.
Okay. Yeah.
Because we started with 2 red this game, right?
Yeah. 2, 3, or 4.
Two. Very confident.
5.
What the shit?
Katya passed.
I passed. Yep.
I mean, I'm good. I'm out.
Pass.
All right. I got something.
You got a point.
A point, which is more than I had before.
True.
All right. So now I'm bidding on green. And who's seen all the greens? Pretty much, right?
Yep.
All right.
Four.
Look away from the screen. Everybody look away from the screen real quick. Hopefully nobody can see what it is. It's face down now.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I will start the bidding at 3.
That's a pass for me.
We've seen the 1, 3, 4, 5. You started at 3. You suck. I don't like sitting across from you.
I know. I like it best, I think. Because I'm not concerning myself with you that as much as I usually do.
It's the 3.
Do you ever concern yourself with me? Ever?
With this game, either a 1. It's a 1, 2, or a 3. He's only bidding a 3 to try to bait bet or get a free card out of it. So it's a 3.
Well, it's not the 1 because we've seen the 1.
Yeah, so then it's a 2 or a 3. So he's not bidding 3 on a 2 because he would lose if nobody calls it, and he would lose 2 points that way. It's the 3. I feel very confident in that.
How confident do you feel?
Pretty confident. I can't afford to bid on it though because I'll lose a point if I'm wrong. But or even if it is a 3, or even if it is the 2, I'll lose and I'll get nothing out of it. But I'm pretty sure it's a 3.
So if it's a 3 and I bid 4, I lose 1.
Yeah, and you come out ahead because you have 2 potions.
I lose 2. I gain 3. All right, I'll go 4.
Matt?
I think you still come out ahead even if it's a 2. It's a pass for me.
Pass. I wish you had thought that through after Mike passed, though.
No, because I'm trying to figure out if you're just doing it to bait me or not.
Yeah.
He loses if he baits and loses like pretty big. So
That's true. All right, so I bid 4.
Now you're teaming up on me, though.
I lose 1.
well, you have more points than me, don't you? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. No. Yeah. So that keeps you under me.
I only have 10 points.
Yeah, I have 11, so that keeps you under me.
We're gonna keep you at 10 points.
Chris, how many cards? Like at the beginning, you set some aside. Which one had 2 set aside?
Red.
Red.
So there are no more reds.
Where's the 1?
That one must have gotten set aside.
Yeah, we have all the reds out. We got 4 on the table and 2 off to the side. So
Okay.
Whose turn is it to pull? Is that Katya's?
Katya.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep,
see
only
what
2
she
cards
lies
out.
about the blue.
I'm gonna bid 0 just to mess with your head.
You're going to make me look at the rules. I don't know if you can bid 0.
Really?
0? I don't know.
It's like passing. I'm passing on my own.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think the rules say you have to start a bid.
All right, fine, 1.
So 0 is not a valid bid.
Fight it
Right.
off.
So what are you starting it with 1 then?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go 3.
We'll do. You said 3, Mike.
Yeah.
4 is good.
All right. Well, if I do 5 and it's the 2, it goes down to 1. Ugh, that's brutal. I've kind of lost anyway. I'll go 5.
I'm still passing.
All right, Mike.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
You both have 11 points. One of you has to win a card.
If it's a 3 though, on a 6, you lose 3. It's 1 point, but if it's
That's
a
1
2
point more than he has.
Right. That's if it's the 3. If it's the 2, it wipes us both out.
I know one of you needs that card, so I upped it a bit, basically. Because I need to take off as much points from you guys as possible.
2. It's at 5 right now.
Yeah.
It's gonna give you a point. I'm good. I'll pass.
Mm. Six is fine because you won't bid 7, so I'll win it at 6.
Pass.
Yeah, I need it to be the 2 though.
It is the 2.
No, it's not.
3. Yeah, I think that might have given him the game, though. Well, no, I mean, right now Katya is winning. So
Yeah, Katya is winning. I'm fighting for second place. I don't know about you guys.
I'm fighting for 3rd at this point. I'm losing. Like I said, I lost my last 2 games.
This is gonna suck because I know what that blue is.
That's true. Yeah, I think we might have to just call it after the yellow here because everybody knows what the blue is. Tabletopia. That's why I said Tabletopia.
Yeah. Due to our Tabletopia mix-up, we know what that blue is.
Yeah.
All right, who's bidding on the yellow?
Me.
Okay.
Here's how it is.
I don't think any of us can win.
I'll bid 4. I'll bid 4.
But you don't have anything to bid with.
He can bid with the blue.
Correct.
Ah. So it's a 1.
He's just trying to keep it out of people's hands at this point.
Yeah, makes sense.
Pass.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass too. I think it's Katya.
Yeah,
it is
not a
man
chance
board.
I'm bidding on that. Nope.
Pretty sure
You
it is
can
the
have
4.
it.
Yeah.
So it's mine for the 4.
Even if it's the
Yeah, Katya's got the win. It'd be a
You did.
little less surprising because of Tabletopia's reveal, but that's all right.
because this is the
Hey,
2.
I don't care if it has an asterisk. I'm proud of my comeback.
Oh no, I wasn't giving you an asterisk. You earned every point there.
I mean, considering I just crushed you for 8 cubes.
I know. I know. After taking that
was-
hit and then winning.
So what did we end up with? I had 11.
I had 12.
I think I still got 10. 4,
I have 60.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I've got 10.
All right, good. I beat Chris.
That's all that matters to you.
My streak continues.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, it was good. It sucks that Tabletopia had to mess up, but
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, it wouldn't have changed anything for me, those last 2 cards. I can tell you that. So that's what I was saying. I don't think it's fair to say asterisk for her win because she had those no matter what, I think.
right.
Well, when you put those cards down, I had to check and make sure I was looking at my screen and I wasn't looking at like the master feed or something like that. I was like, oh no, it's out there.
Weird.
Yeah, that's weird when that happens. So what's the next one?
Well, there's this question. There's obviously a nominal difference, but I think it comes down to usability. I think Tabletopia is more user friendly than Tabletop Simulator, at least in my experience. And if you watch some of the times that we've played games on Tabletop Simulator on the show, it's a program that runs the computer, like it takes the computer over. So there's that. But it also, if you're good behind the curtain, it has more to offer than Tabletopia,
Right.
and at least my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can script out Tabletop Simulator really effectively. I've played some 18xx games on Tabletop Simulator that are better on Tabletop Simulator than in person because it handles all the math and things behind it. I think Tabletopia is better for entry level experience, but the more experienced you are with the program, I think Tabletop Simulator gives you more. So if you use these programs a lot, I think Tabletop Simulator is better. But if you're just jumping in and grabbing a game real quick, I think Tabletopia is probably better for that level of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think what you're using it for too. I remember I played to go with the scriptability. I played a game by Small Furry Games that had an action where you flipped a card and the lights dimmed in the room, and then you flipped it back over and the lights came back up. And I thought that scripting of it was really cool because it sold the gameplay a little bit more. The thing with Tabletopia is it runs through a browser and people don't have to have the program. So if you're trying to pitch it to publishers or you're trying to be a designer in the field or you want to get playtesters to play it more, I think Tabletopia is just easier, more friendly than Tabletop Simulator. But Simulator, you can do a lot more.
And Tabletopia is more buggier. I run into bugs all the time with it and stuff, but it is good for playtesting. I mean, that's why that's in there, is because I used it for playtesting or for showing publishers, right? So,
Agreed.
the scripted stuff I've seen. I mean, just like they've been talking on the chat right there, I've seen some.
Yeah.
I love it whenever you just hit. Oh, we got 4 players. You hit it and it just goes woo and throws everything out there. You can't do that with Tabletop. Are you laughing at my noise? Woo! You can't do that with Tabletopia. You have to create different setups per player.
Yeah,
Tabletopia,
a scripted Tabletop Simulator is almost as good as playing something on BGA, honestly. So
it's not as pretty though.
no.
You pay for the cool 3D views and stuff you can get in Tabletopia for functionality, which is better. But
yeah, they have their different pros and cons, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is DeVito saying?
Oh, you didn't mean to paste that.
He said, and then later on, yeah, you weren't supposed to put that up because, oops.
leave it to you guys to go like, oh, what is that? Let's put it on the
Yeah.
screen. It wasn't meant to be there to begin with.
I read the oops first, and I was like, what's a you thing? And then you put it up, and I was like, oh.
How funny is it that I mentioned how DeVito screwed up our Tabletopia game by not doing the right, and there he is. Way to go.
Well, you helped him out there.
That's great. I just saw a nice big chunk of stuff. I'm like, oh, someone's contributing something.
TTS went in VR. I haven't done that yet. I need to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Does Tabletopia work in VR?
I don't think so.
I wouldn't.
But I don't have VR, so I don't know. So.
Yeah, me neither. And
I have to find all the things to do with the Oculus so that I can justify buying the Oculus.
Oh, the full 42 in VR.
I don't know if anybody wants to.
Yeah, I don't need to be in VR.
I don't know either.
Nobody needs this in virtual reality. Nobody.
The really dumb thing is they're like, you can watch movies in VR, and it's just you sitting in front of a virtual screen that's floating in front of you. I mean,
So
I guess if you don't have a big screen, like it looks like a big screen, I guess, but you got to wear the thing, you know.
Yeah.
So, there's some really cool stuff in there, though. I played the Walking Dead thing, just the intro, and the zombie pops out of a barrel, and you're just like, like attacking it, like it's right in your face, so you feel it. It's pretty good.
Nope.
No?
Nope. I wouldn't be able to sleep.
It will get your heart pumping.
Yeah, I bet. I wouldn't be able to sleep after that.
It reminds me of the old, did you ever play Fear on a PC?
No.
Oh, yeah.
I worked for the studio that made the expansions for that, the part 2 and part 3s and stuff. But yeah, if you turn off the lights and stuff like that and try to play that game, you'd feel your heart beating.
I was playing this is a true story. I was playing BioShock in the dark, big TV in the dark, and I got to one of the levels where you were going down these stairs, and then you were half underwater, like it was flooding. And I'm like, all right, well, that sucks. And then all of a sudden, the fucking lights flickered and went out in the game. So now my lights are off. Everything's off. And then they came back on, and there was a shadow at the end of the hallway. I shut it off. I never played it again. I was done. It scared the shit out of me. I loved everything up until that moment. And then it literally scared the shit. That one, I was in the game. And then the thing at the end of the hallway, and then the water sounds, and I was done. I was out of it.
Oh, I get that totally. In Fear, when I was playing it, same thing, lights out, you're all up against the screen.
Yep.
And I'm like going down this hallway, and then I just see a shadow of a little girl and with her voice, and it disappears. I'm like, I'm not going in there. And I back up, and like the NPCs are like moving forward, like, you guys go in there. Yeah. And then I hear it right behind me, and I'm like, and I just start firing everywhere. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, it says a lot to the game, right? When you're that immersed and it does that to you. Yeah, really cool.
Yeah. And that was without VR. I haven't gotten into stuff with that yet.
Yeah.
So far, all I've done in VR is thrown paper airplanes and stacked blocks. And I played this. It's like a Guitar Hero kind of thing. Only you use lightsabers and cut stuff. That's
Beat Saber.
Beat Saber.
Yeah, Beat Saber. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's a little workout for you if you're not in shape like me.
I want to do Beat Saber.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah. Haven't done a lot with it. Oh, I played a Star Wars Vader thing. That's actually fun. Kind of feel like you're in the Star Wars world.
That's cool.
Look at Alan's comment.
Used to play horror games with a finger in the power button.
I think he was like on the power button, like ready to turn it off.
I get it.
Yeah, those games are good. You got time to look at something?
Me?
Yeah. Anybody? Are we good if we play something?
Yeah.
A couple rounds.
I get a little bit of time.
Okay. I found a game. It was just I was at Jason's store. Jason, the local store here, Play the Game, Read the Story. and he's a horrible salesman. He's a very good salesman, but he's horrible. And every time I go there, I buy more than I need to.
Sounds like
But
a good salesman.
he's great.
I'm sure he has to really twist your arm to get you to buy things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it almost breaks every time. That's how hard it is.
Sure.
But I found this, and we like color games on here, right? Color Brain, Colorful. So here's Color Code. We're gonna play it a little differently because there are other bits and parts to it that don't lend themselves to what we're doing right now. But the concept of the game, it's a cooperative color game. The concept of the game is I'm gonna add this thing to the. Hold on.
You're gonna upset the delicate balance that is our 4-5.
Sorry, I can bounce it out, actually. All right, so there's this board. What I'm going to do is I will just play it as I go. I'm going to draw 3 of these cards and put them here. And there are things that go here that add to the game, but we're not going to play with those. What I'm going to do is from this deck of cards that have colors on it, I'm going to associate each one of these things to a color. Face down so you don't know what the hell they are. So, for instance, I'll do that.
You get some glare on those cards, so I don't know what the hell those are either.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Hold on.
Oh, that's better.
Right there.
Yep.
Is that good?
Yep.
Right this
Okay.
Now, don't move.
I'm not moving anything.
So,
I'll
sorry,
put
you're putting random colors, not random, but
No,
colors
random.
you
Picking
associate
color.
with it.
I'm picking.
Okay. Do we know what those colors are?
I'm going to tell you because what you guys are going to have to do now is pick the 3 colors that I put down there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I do something about this glare?
Do we just talk it out? What we think is what?
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's cooperative, so.
Okay.
Can you read them?
Yeah, we can see it.
yeah.
Like car and surfing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so surfing, car, and bicycle. And your colors are black, gray, yellow, red. I don't even know what this is. Pink? Mauve? I don't know. Orange.
We can't see those.
Oh, okay. I can put them
Lay
down
them
here.
across the lay them across there. Perfect.
That's like a tan color, I guess.
There's a pink. Yeah. Blue, green, and white. Yeah, I guess. Well,
Man, some of these things are so subjective. Like, I would think surfing is blue because of the
Yeah,
water.
same.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I think we
probably
can
the darker blue.
blue there.
There is a game very similar to this that I've played before, and I'm trying to recall. what
this
it's
is
called.
purple.
Yeah, no, we were talking about blue for.
Yeah, there's only one blue. There isn't like a lime green and a green. They're all straight colors.
Are there 2 reds, or is that orange that's closest to us?
That's orange. That's red.
Okay, they're very close. On
This is white.
That's white.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. You need to white balance your camera.
it's just white.
That looks light blue.
Yeah, same to me. Looks like blue.
It does. That's why I think it was a shadow more.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
So,
I would
I think,
say blue for surfing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Maybe the Batmobile car is black.
Either that
Yeah,
or we were talking about Bumblebee earlier this week, so I'm thinking yellow for the car.
I'm thinking red for car because that most people think about.
I was thinking red for bicycle. What were we thinking for
Yeah, I was
bicycle?
thinking red for bicycle or black.
I don't know why I was thinking red for bicycle. I don't have any defense for that.
Or maybe gray. Or BMX is gray?
BMXs or whatever color you want to buy them in.
Hmm. Yeah, then maybe red for the bike for me.
I can see red as bike.
Okay, so red bike. What do we want to do for
For the
the
car?
car?
I don't know. I was thinking red for cars, so I'm out of
Eric's
options.
thinking little red Corvette for the car too. So maybe you're
See?
right.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's the yellow. It's
Oh,
the yellow Bumblebee.
Maybe this is why I'm thinking red bike because of Pee Wee Herman's.
Those people. But maybe the Batmobile. I don't know. It could be either.
Do you know what color his current vehicle is?
It doesn't
Not a
have
clue.
Well, then, how about black for the Batmobile? That's the only
Wanna
thing I
try
can
black?
think of.
All right. Let's try that.
So your final answers are blue for surfing, black for car, and red for bicycle?
Yeah, but I don't feel strongly about two of them.
So you're right on the surfing,
Nice.
the blue water. You should have listened to Katya on the car.
I knew it.
Because we were talking about Bumblebee in the Discord, so
Yep.
I went with Bumblebee. And bike was black.
Oh.
Oh, why was the black? Why was the bike black?
The tires. The only because bikes are in so many different colors. The only thing that really is kind of consistent are the tires.
Makes sense.
All right. So we've learned to listen to Katya.
So there you go.
So are you wanting do you want us to guess correctly? Is that what?
Yeah. We all get points depending on how many you get points for it, and then where is it?
I agree. It was Mike's fault.
Sure.
He didn't want us to guess correctly. That's what happened.
I don't think so. I think, like I said, just because it was so fresh from this week.
I don't remember you guys talking about Bumblebee at all.
What?
Where was I during that conversation on Discord?
Oh, was it in Q's? Oh, it may have been in the QSCOM channel.
Oh, maybe. Why are you not talking in? Yeah, we talked about how they did the nod to the Beetle, but Bumblebee as the Beetle.
No. I'm in the 42 Discord, which is linked in our description, by the way.
We should do the QCon one. So anyway, there's a whole thing how you're playing and you're scoring points. You want to connect.
So you're not trying to deceive us or to trick us.
Okay. Nope. All right. So for this one,
how long can hard candy be good for?
Oh, forever. As long as it hasn't sat in a hot car.
Oh wow! Look at that.
I guess we'll find out. Everybody watch Chris for the next few minutes.
It's key lime pie flavored.
Watch them puff up.
So what do we got? We got music, democracy, and board game. Oh, great.
Okay.
Okay, so this thing that looks like a peachy color is actually brown.
Oh. It sure does look like brown.
I'm just looking at all the colors that you have for options, and that's brown, pink, purple, orange. Basically, the normal colors.
Yeah. Okay.
I agree. These are awful cards.
Democracy, man. What would democracy be?
This is not the game
Did you already pick your cards? Did you already pick your colors?
No, I'm putting that there.
Oh, okay.
I'm putting that there. I'm putting that there.
All right. I'm going to argue the board game is orange because he knows that troubles and all that stuff.
Oh.
That's a fair guess.
That's a good one. The only other thought I had aside from orange was black because this board is black. That's all I got.
Oh, I was thinking black because his Batman game.
That too. Well, is there?
So it depends.
No,
is he trying to speak on his behalf or trying to call to something we know? Last game he called to the Bumblebee conversation that you would know. So that's why I'm leaning towards orange.
Yeah, I could go with orange on that. He's a big fan of troubles. Yeah.
Democracy?
I think democracy is blue.
Like the liberal type thing, or
a Democrat?
Or the,
well, I mean, like, yeah, like it's a blue state. That means they vote Democrat. So I think maybe that's where we're going there.
Yeah.
What about music? Brown for brown-eyed girl? I don't know. You can make a case for every color here, right?
Yeah.
Purple rain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's purple.
Mellow yellow.
I think music is just going to be a guess.
How about white? For like music sheets or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It has just about as much chance of being right as anything, I think, at this point. So,
how much does anybody know about Dave Matthews music?
Oh, I know a fair bit. Hold on. Oh, it could be gray for Gray Street.
There you go. Do that one.
Yeah, let's try that. Just because we got nothing else to go with.
So you're good with orange, blue, and all right. Well, you got democracy.
Yeah. Okay.
Board game. I'm still playing to the masses here, and I could have went with orange, and you could have convinced them, but I went brown because of cardboard.
Oh,
Oh.
wow. I would have never gone there.
It
Yeah,
made
I
the
would
most,
have never made that connection, but
it made the most sense.
It makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, it
And then
makes
for
sense.
music, you should have listened to Derek.
Red?
Red.
He specifically just said Little Red Corvette.
What is that?
Did he say that for the car too? Does he just
Yeah,
say
he
Little
said
Red
that.
Yeah,
Corvette
that was
over
for
and
the
over?
No,
car.
that was for the car, but I used because that's a Prince song, so I used it for music.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, but what about Purple Rain? That's also a Prince song.
Purple
But it
Rain.
was just said. That's why I used red. It was just said in the chat, so I thought maybe you guys would parlay that into.
Music is too
well.
ambiguous. to be
Wow, that's nice. That's nice. I should have went with black because I'm wearing the black hat, but
I was thinking music black too, but yeah.
Yeah, music could have been any color, really.
There is, and I've been doing some internet searching in the background here, but there is a card game that does this, but I think it does this better. And I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called, but basically somebody plays a card and you have colored cards in your hand and you have to play your card and somebody chooses the color that matches best where you agree with. So it's a very similar gameplay to this. Maybe.
That's what
I
we
think
play
so.
on here a lot of times.
That one is everybody places a color card.
Yes.
Face
Okay.
down
That's
and
it.
you're
Okay.
trying to match.
Yeah.
Yeah, we play that all the time.
Yeah, I think Colorful's a better game than this.
Yeah.
Because this is
for sure.
yeah, this is a little too ambiguous, right?
You really
Because-
have to know the person, I think, too,
Right.
for this to
Yeah.
really work.
They have
Yeah,
they have these tokens that if you guys are super confident on a call, you can drop one of these tokens in. You'll get 2 points if you're correct.
Oh,
There's
okay.
only 3 of them, and then there's these guys that do something else in the game too. Like when you're actually playing the real game, not this game. There's 3 different ones. You have 2 of each, and you can put them down here as you go to score to do other stuff. So it's got a little bit more to it than what we're playing right now. But for the sake of the show, it makes sense to do this.
Cool. I would do one more.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if you guys had colors, then you guys could do it.
Right.
Like Chris, you have colorful there.
Yeah.
So get your copy,
Got it.
okay, and take out the color cards, a set of color cards,
Following instructions.
and you're gonna do this one.
Cool. But I don't have the same colors you do there.
No, but they're all in there though.
Yeah,
They
they're all
are.
the same.
Even if you
All
have
right.
extras, just don't pick the extra ones.
Okay. Yeah, don't use silver.
Correct.
Right.
Don't-
So
Don't
in,
use
in
lion.
your deck, use brown, pink, and purple.
Brown, pink, purple. Yep.
All right, red, orange, yellow.
Red, orange, yellow. Yep.
Green, blue.
Yep.
And then white, black, and gray.
Okay. And gray. I took gray out. Okay. Yeah, I got the colors right here. Cool.
There
Okay.
you go.
So your 3 words are drink, Berlin. Why is everything going on? And human.
All right. Whew.
Berlin.
Let's see. Well, I guess I'll do that. And I'll do.
Oh,
That's. Okay. Shouldn't do that. I'll do.
oh, that works.
Yeah.
Oh, that's. Oh, man. Okay. That. Can I use the same color for all 3?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll do that and that. And trying to remember things. Oh, fine. That. All right. I've got it. They are
All right.
marked.
We got to figure it out. I'm gonna argue for brown for drink because he's usually drinking something brown.
I would have put
Coffee.
that on the human.
Does he?
It's
I think
it's
human
the
is.
only,
I think.
it's the only
think
color
human is
that
pink.
is on the like skin spectrum. Really, is
Well,
that kind
Well,
of like
I think human is pink.
pink? We're
Yeah.
not pink.
No, but I think that's the closest color we're going to get with their limited options here.
Unless it's something completely different that he put there, but
What?
so brown.
I don't know.
Brown
What does Chris usually drink? What kind of? Is he a soda guy? Is he a coffee guy? Or
Oh yeah, it's coffee.
Tea.
No,
It's usually tea, right? Coffee or tea?
Is it tea or okay, I understand the brown now. And then Berlin, I have no idea. Red? I don't know.
Well, German, right? So it's
I have no clue.
yeah, maybe red communism.
what?
Like the Berlin Wall.
Was the wall gray?
Well, the wall physically it was. Well, yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm open to ideas. Talk to me.
Well, the flag doesn't help. The flag is 3 colors.
Right.
Yeah, I have no idea for Berlin. That's a tough one.
I don't know. I think we just have to choose a color. Maybe red, because that's the predominant color that you see in the flag.
Yeah, let's do that.
I like
All right.
Dan's little red Corvette. Thanks, DeVito. The red for blood and human though could be a thing.
Oh, perhaps.
It's getting dark now.
Perhaps. All right.
You want to go with that?
I'm
That's
reading
fine
his
with me.
facial expressions and I'm not convinced about the pink. You know why? Because I think the pink in colorful is like way brighter pink.
Oh, maybe.
But
Oh, let's see what happens. This is
let's
what
see
we
what
got.
happens.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Final answer.
Got 2 out of 3.
No
Oh,
shit. All right.
Which one do you think you got wrong?
Berlin.
the drink.
Which one do you think you got wrong, Katya?
I don't know. I think the human pink.
Yeah, it was human. So you're right. The pink card here is like crazy, whatever. Where is it? Yeah, it's like weird, kind of purplish
Sure.
pink.
Okay.
And it
Yeah.
didn't make any sense to me. So I went with black, thinking like the first humans were probably black from Africa, kind of thing. And I at first did brown, but brown is good for coffee. I always drink coffee. And red for Berlin because it's on the flag we know and the flag we hate at the same time. So
All right.
close.
That's 2.
2 out of 3. I think that's better than Mike's, right?
Yeah. Thanks.
That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think it's fun. It's not colorful, and it's not as fun. I don't think as Color Brain, but I wanted to give it a shot to see anyway.
It's good.
Well, because in colorful you get to give a clue, which means you can be
Right.
very specific.
Right.
But in this one, at least, I like that you're diving into what that person would do. Like you're considering that person. That's why I said you have to know the person pretty well. I think because if it was just a stranger, it'd be blind luck, really.
Right.
So, in one, you're considering I think this would be better with families, or like
yeah.
people that know each other pretty well. Whereas
Sure.
colorful can be used with any crowd, know each
Yeah,
other.
agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We just did a review. Didn't even
Yeah.
need to.
A live review. Yeah,
Comparison review.
I like it.
Cool.
Katya, do you want to take a shot at it? I don't know where your colorful is.
Oh, they're not close, and I'm not getting up.
Okay.
Well, I gotta start wrapping it up anyway. It's
Yeah.
close to time for me. So
We're here at the end anyway. Let's see. What can we do to make this an awkward ending like usual?
And
leave.
and then you cut right
yeah,
there.
just turn it off.
Let's see. We should end.
No, but we'll
There's
be
a-
in Discord for those that are watching that like to tune in afterwards in the Bat Cave on
There's-
the. Yeah.
There's a podcast I listen to that they don't know how to end it, and after several podcasts, they just play a song, like they just stop. They play a song that says that's where they decided to cut it, and they just stop.
That's good. I listened to the I can't remember what it's called now, but it's got Jason Bateman and Sean Hayes and
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Smartless. That's what it's called. Yeah, and the way they do it is they always try to find a way to say bye, but they do it in like a weird little tricksy way, and then they all say bye together and stuff. So we don't have any of that, so we're just going to end it. Bye.
All right. Bye.